is when I'm doing this, I'm really thinking they can move across the ground. They can shift their weight. They're not stuck to the ground. So I absolutely, every time I have my hand on someone to do movement, I've got the ground in my image. Always. It's always a part of my picture. Yeah? So if I was moving Anastasia, I would never just have my hand here and be thinking pelvis, or I'm thinking ground. Can she move across the ground? And she's stuck a bit. You feel that? Yeah. So this is too high, I would venture. That's what you're looking for, this ability to move across the ground. Okay, so now, can you, I'm going to talk you through this bit, okay? And I'll turn, could you find, again, the acromion on the top of the shoulder? Collarbone in this position. So you're starting at the acromion, then you've got the little joint where the acromion joins onto the clavicle. And you can follow that down across the collarbone to where the collarbone comes into the sternum, where you've got your sternoclavicular joint. Again, you're tracing it out both for yourself and for them. So just getting an idea of where it is, where it sits. And then once you've found the collarbone, you can come back to the acromion, and then you can follow the acromion around to the spine of the scapula, the big ridge at the back of the shoulder blade that goes across to the inside border. And you can always find this on people. So you're getting an idea of this whole big rim that's from the collarbone in the front across to the acromion of the shoulder blade and then circles around the back. And you can use one hand, two hands, whatever you feel this person evokes you to do. Then see if you can find because you've gone across the back, the spine of the scapula to the edge of the shoulder blades, can you find that inside border of the shoulder blade and where it sits in relationship to their spine and their ribs? What's the line of it, this inside border of their shoulder blade? Can you see, Bruce? So does it sit in line with their spine, or does the lower border feel wider or in closer? Just tracing out that border for them. And you can't really find the upper border, too much of the upper border, but if you keep going down, 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 you'll feel the angle of the shoulder blade at the bottom that you can begin to trace up now the outside border of the shoulder blade. So really finding the dimensions of this triangle-shaped bone. Okay. So once you've got a sense of that triangle, where would you like to put your hands so that you feel you've got the whole of the shoulder blade plus their collarbone in your hands? So you can be behind them, you can be sitting at their head, wherever you feel I've got a sense that I haven't just got their shoulder blade, I've got their collarbone as well. I've got this whole shoulder girdle in my image. And once you feel you've got a handle, just pause. So once you feel you've got a handle that you feel, I could begin to move them from here. Just pause. Great. Okay, I might do this with Leonie. So, now what you're going to do is feel, is their arm in a position that's going to allow their shoulder blade to move? So I can, because I've just got these wonderful eyes, I can see with Leonie that if I went to very gently lift her arm, it'd be really heavy. That there's a lot of work going on here. So I know that if I'm going to try and move her shoulder blade, the position of her arm is really going to get in the way of being able to do it. So just as we were working out the position of the leg, you've got to feel now, is the person's arm in a position where it could do it? For the majority of people, where some of you have already got your arm, that will be a pretty easy position. I'll just show you another. Sometimes you can't get people's arms to there. So something I use a lot with people. So if Leonie was there, the way I'll often get it there is I will come under, 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 so that I'm supporting the weight of their arm. And I will do that the same if their arm is long on their side, but I feel can you feel that's not really ready to move very much, Leonie? No? So she needs me to lighten that a little bit, just to lift it a little bit, same as we did with the knees. So I'm just lifting it a little bit away. So now I'm just going to adjust my hands to where her shoulder can be. Okay. So just finding a way where you want their arm to be. So again, it's just you feeling very lightly, is their arm ready to move in the position it's in? Or is it in a position where it's going to get in the way of the movement? No? You'll have to move your position. Yeah. Yeah, you want the arm to be light. Yeah? Can you feel that difference, Bruce? It's much more secure, and but it's purely dependent on the person. Some people's arms are already really easy there. Okay, so now what are the movements of the shoulder girdle? Once you've got their position, what are the movements? What are the directions? What are some ATMs you've done on the shoulder? Yeah, up, down, yeah, forward, back. So let's just see up, down, forward, back first. And again, remember, nothing's ever a straight line. Huh? And again, you're looking for what's easy. You're not trying to do more. And you really want to give them a sense that you've got their shoulder girdle in your hands. So this is a little bit like what you were all just doing in that ATM. Where does their skeleton want to go? I've got a direction forward, or I've got a direction up or down, but where do they want to go in that? So you're simply feeling the tendencies. That's going to give a really different message. That's not the... No, it's just that he's moving your arm. And we're trying to just get the shoulder girdle. So that won't work, Bruce. You're moving her arm there. By holding her there, you're giving her an absolutely different message. Yeah? So your hands are on her shoulder blade, on her collarbone. Huh? So there's up, down, forward, back, circles. And again, are your shoulder blades free? Do less, Bruce. You just do. You've got to feel for her. Do less, much less. Feel for, because what I see you doing, I mean, you're great, but you're just thinking of a shoulder blade. You're not thinking of her first rib, or her head, or her neck, or her pelvis, or her elbows, or her underneath shoulder, or her hips, or her knees. Can you feel that's really different now when you've got the big picture again? Yeah? And that's just for you to practice, because your default is to go for the bit. Your habit is to go for the bit rather than to keep that big picture. Because if you're just on the bit, that's what she thinks it's all about too. Yeah? Just exploring where the shoulder blade can go easily. Just exploring where the shoulder blade will go easily. Okay, that should be heaps. Okay? Bring the person lying, come up to sitting again. And you're simply going to see what they're like in sitting now. Observe how they go back and put their hands and see is anything different. Do their arms look different after doing that? Do their shoulder blades look in a different position? And then you're just going to very gently track that first rib again and see, does anything feel different? Mm. 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 And the person might want to tell you if they feel a difference between one arm and the other after that. Yeah, it's different. But you don't have to do anything, Bruce. And you're just feeling, is there any difference? Would that make a difference, Martina, to how one knee went to the floor compared to the other? So would that make a difference to how one knee goes to the floor compared to the other? Try it. No. Just your pelvic, taking one knee toward the floor, belly forward, and then the other one. And can you see there's something very different happening in one shoulder than the other, Nicole? Yeah? Yeah. And that's plenty. You shouldn't need to do much to see if there's a difference. Huh? Okay, so now change over. Change over. Change roles. Change roles. So again, really spend time before you put your hands on them this time. Just taking a moment to observe, again, how they put their arms back, how they take one knee toward the ground, soles of the feet together, soles of the feet together, soles of the feet together. Yeah? What they do with their shoulder blades, what they do with their first rib, as they then begin to take one knee toward the floor. Just observe them first, doing the movement. And then you can track their first rib. Get a sense of the shape of it, the shape they're making. And then get them to take, because we're sort of going to do one side, so we'll make this a little bit more obvious. Could they take their right, could their right belly come forward and their right knee goes down and forward toward the ground? And then their left knee goes forward and goes down toward the ground. And what happens in their knees, in their ribs, in their shoulder blades? So just getting a sense of how much do they involve this upper part of their back in that movement. Good. Okay, and then they go down into side lying, their side they choose. And again, you're going to look for the setup. Is their pelvis free to move across the ground? Is their upper back free to move across the ground? And again, for most of you, do much less effort. Because you've still got a tendency, you're in there and you've done the movement without feeling the beginning. So you're really looking that their pelvis is available, their upper back is available. You sure that underneath hip's free? I'm not convinced, Anastasia. So the rest of him moves nicely, you can feel, yeah? But that underneath hip isn't. Slide both your legs up. It's like ATM. What's going to make sense? But that's easier. That's easier. Can you feel? Hang on. Hang on. Just do less. Stop wobbling. So you're just going in there really slow and just feel, is it about there? Yeah. No? Is it available? And it's still a little bit. Yeah? So, is this leg, hang on, no. Is this leg light? No, it's as heavy as lead. He needs more between his knee or less between his knees, but he needs something. Yeah? Or it could be that you've only got something under his knees and not his feet, so maybe try it now. That's better. Huh? Yeah, so these are just the little things. Yeah? So now try it. Go less. That's in the ballpark. Yeah? Yeah. Well, that's for him. Yeah? But that's more in the ballpark. Can you feel? Yeah? Whereas if we took that out again. So that's the same as when we're on the back. Do you know what I mean? We set the knees up. We always have to check the feet. Yeah? You're in where something can happen. Okay. Something's available. That's plenty. You don't have to do any more.